Hello, hello, Sir David the Bard, coming to you from Kangaroo City down here in the great island. It's surrounded by sea. I think it's an island of Australia. The kangaroos are all in bed right now, and I wanted to share with you something. And if you're watching this video, and this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, look at some of the others. This is not going to be indicative of me. I'm pissed off, and I'm sure anger and hatred and hostility is going to come through. And so out of 2,000 videos, if you watch this one, you're going to think that's the way I am. Anyway, if you think that, I don't care. Anyway, we went out to the restaurant about a week ago, and I was sitting there, and you know, I'm being bipolar, I multitask. I see hundreds of things that other people don't see. And I was watching a family across from us sitting in a booth, and it was probably a 10-year-old girl that was there with her mother. And the 10-year-old had eaten, and she was bored. And she laid in her mother's arms and lap and went right to sleep. And the mother is there petting, like a dog, petting the baby. And I watched that and watched that. And the hurt from seeing that and knowing what the Mormon Church took away from me and my family, how it divided us, how we couldn't go to each other's weddings, we couldn't speak to each other, all of the shunning and hatred that the Mormon Church did. And I looked over there, and for a few seconds I was in fantasy land, thinking before the Mormon Church divided us, the joy and the solitude it was to hold one of my children and have them go to sleep in my arms. Now, the Mormons keep saying to me, well, you can leave, but you can't leave us alone. You're right. You're absolutely right. And if you think the Bard is ever going to let you alone, you're dreaming. You're in a fantasy world. Well, we didn't hurt you. Why are you so angry? Why are you so hateful? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When your name is attached to a church, you are endorsing and you are approving of the policies, procedures, and the doctrine of that organization. If you weren't, you'd be somewhere else. You'd be out of that church. Years ago, when white men belonged to golf courses and clubs that were all white, they had to take their name out of the club to show that they were not prejudiced. They had courage. You Mormons are slithering snake and cowards. Your leadership hurts people beyond explanation. You know, I've seen a lot of third world torture. I'm not an expert at it, but I've seen people tortured before. And it was a Mormon bishop in Idaho that invented waterboarding, so the Mormons are very familiar with torture. Physical torture will heal. Now, will the trauma from physical torture heal? Not as much, not as well. But it can be pushed to the background pretty well over the years. Not psychological torture. Not family torture. When you say to a man, we're going to kill your children, or you will do this, he will probably do this. When the Mormon Church taught my children, here's Monson on the phone again, I swear, they want me to take over Monson's position, and I keep saying no. I don't want my name associated with that organization. No. Hello. Yes.
Okay.
All right, bye. I keep saying no. I don't want to be Boyd K. Packer. I run the little factory, and in fact I own it. So anyway, the Mormon Church kept me from seeing my children married. They've kept me from certain associations with my children. They've gone beyond torture. The Mormon Church can put you in a state of emotional collapse. And they do it smiling with little angel wings. Oh, we don't hurt people. You people whose names are on the Mormon Church, I have changed. I have changed now. I used to cut you some slack and go, well, they don't know what they're doing. Not today. Not with the internet. You know what you're doing. You know what you're endorsing. You know. You still there? I hate you. And I hate the Mormon Church. The doctrine, the policies, and the procedures. You're all in the same boat. It's the Titanic. And the band is playing, but you're all in the same boat. So yeah, I've turned to, after seeing that baby being held in the buffet, and realizing how much I hurt and how much I lost because of a religion. I'm going to hate that religion. And you know what? I'm an atheist. I have no obligation to forgive anybody. And when the Mormons say, were you offended? You bet your ass I was offended. Over and over. When I see your missionaries wearing badges now, I go, how are you? Pele Ale. They run like hell. When I see the Temple Square, I put down my... I'm not going to admit this because I could be in trouble. I do hate Mormonism, and I hate the people. Because the people rubber stamp this discrimination. The people rubber stamp 14-year-old girls getting married. The people stamp hating black people and discriminating. The people endorse gay hatred. The people endorse equal rights. The people endorse all that. Why? You tell me. I don't put my name anywhere that I don't want it read back to me that I endorse. I'll put my name on many things. And I will endorse many things that are good. But you Mormons that won't stand up for what's right, I don't know if this song is still in your hymn book or not. There used to be an old song, do what is right, let the consequence follow. Battle for freedom in spirit and might, and with stout hearts looking forth till tomorrow. Something goes on, but do what is right. I think they're taking that out of the hymn book, because they don't sing it, and they don't live it. If you're a Mormon, you endorse 14-year-old marriages. You endorse. I got to show you what you endorse. I was going to save this for a special occasion. I got me a Joseph Smith hat. I'm going to have Ty put something on it like, fuck the Mormons. I don't know what I'm going to put up there. But when you people can look in a hat and see a rock that talks, and it tells you to hate and hate and hate, you should be hated. You're not real people. You're robots. You're Morg. Or, what is that in Star Trek? The Morg, not the Morg, the, I can't think of it. You all know it, you know. Resistance is futile. Anyway, I'm hating the whole group now. Because the little innocent ones that go, well, I didn't know about that. With an internet, they don't know. Well, that was in those days. This is today. Really? Really? Can a father and a mother go to a marriage in the temple of their children if they are not members? You hate people. You hate people, Mormons. And until you bend them and you break them to your 10% and to bowing your head and saying yes, and until they agree with all of the hate, you're going to shun them. You're going to push them away, and you're going to take their kids away. You're going to take their kids away. Well, what did we do? We didn't hurt you. We didn't hurt you at all. When I see those fucking badges, and I hear they're trying to spread this filth, I tell them, praise to the man. Pele ale. Oh God, hear the words of my mouth. How are you? Health in the navel, marrow in the bone. Ty almost has my rock done. I'm going to wear my rock and my hat around the community, and you know what? Fuck the Mormons. Fuck the Mormons. I hope they assassinate me. Put me out of my misery. Show how hateful they really are. Show really their colors. Show who they are and how they think. If you don't agree with the Mormons, you're shit. And you may find your house burned down, you may find your children dead, you may find many of the things like the Mountain Meadows massacre, where they had all the people from, where was that? Harley P. Pratt was in, I think, Arkansas. Had all the people put their guns down and surrender, and they promised them safe passage, and then they slaughtered them. The bishop and the stake president all shot and killed 128 men, women, and children because the Mormons didn't like that they weren't Mormons and they were going through southern Utah going to California. These are ruthless people. Porter Rockwell was a hitman, and you know damn well he went up to shoot Governor Boggs and on Joseph Smith's orders. So I see you as a whole ball of wax. You can't say to me, well, there's one or two apples in the barrel that, you know, can be rotten. No. Every apple in that barrel is filth. Until they can stand up and go, wait a minute, I don't endorse this. I'm not putting my name on this. If you want to change some of that doctrine, I may stay. But as long as you hold on to hats in a rack or racks in a hat. I told Mercy yesterday, she says, where do you want to eat? And I said, well, why don't we taco my bell? I don't know what that means. So, is that throwing tacos at your bell? I don't know. So I do hate them with a passion. And I will live every moment of the rest of my life revealing the hatred of the Mormons. Revealing the pain, the suffering, and the squalor. They're rich. We've known a lot of rich kings and a lot of rich people. They can be turds too. Yeah, they're rich. How'd they get rich? Lorenzo Snow started tithing. Tithing started coming into the church, and they started investing. They used the people's money to make themselves rich, and they continue to do that. They won't publish where the money goes. They won't tell the truth on their membership numbers. I put you all in the same ball. I don't care if you're in a leadership position or you just were converted by the missionaries. There's an internet. When you recognize how evil and how much hatred that organization has brought to the earth and to the families, you want to stand up and step out. Go, whoa, whoa. That's what I did. I kept looking, and finally, rocks in the hat and hatred. I go, no, the bar don't fly that way. I go a different direction. I want people to be honest. I want to be truthful. I want people to be fair. I want people to help each other. Shunning is not part of the bar. Shunning is not part of the bar. I don't hate skin color. I don't hate language, cultures. You know what? I don't hate anything but the Mormons. The group of Mormons that are on the earth right now and their leadership is the most evil ball of shit I know of. You get near that, you're going to get hepatitis C and, come down with every damn disease in the world. And the worst disease is going to be hatred. Hatred. When you join that group a little bit at a time, They teach you to hate. And finally, when you're in your 50s and 60s, you know who to hate. You know who to hate. So I put them all together now. I watched that little girl being snuggled and cuddled by her parent. I've missed thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of hours that can't be replaced because of the Mormon Church and because of the people in the Mormon Church who are members and support that kind of hatred. So I'll have my rock here in the next couple of shows. Hey, Lael, oh God, hear the words of my mouth 3 times, right? There's some bullshit. Don't cut my throat, try to scare me. Don't cut my heart out, you're trying to scare me again. Don't cut my guts out, I don't scare easy. Most people do. And I certainly want you to have health in the navel, marrow in the bones, strength in the loins and the sinews, power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity, through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. I'm an atheist. I will never forgive. An eye for an eye.